Hey friends, Wasted here. This is a baliplus replicant with a whole bunch of aftermarket parts. In fact, the only thing that's left of this knife that's still a clone is the Tonto blade and the body screws. The scales are JT design scales, and the liners are Foxfire liners that have that nice little hole in the middle to match the scales. I don't know what he calls them. I forgot what he calls them, but oh, and the Foxfire channel spacers. The bushing and all the other hardware that I replaced is from Yosei Knife Maker, and the pivots, sex bolt pivots, are from Squid Industries. They're the blue titanium ones. And I'm very happy with this build. It's not 100% yet. Still has like the tiniest bit of tap, but I'm very happy with how it flips. Very, very happy with it. In fact, Replicant is the first actual high-end balisong that I've bought. I bought it off a Jersey Devil from somebody. I forgot his name. It's years ago. And I dropped 350 bucks and then got a blue Select Replicant, brand new. So that's why I wanted the blue scales. Yeah. Well, that knife, I got so excited. Flipped that thing all the fucking time. Dropped it all the time and still had great tolerances and all that. And I took it apart a lot. I just really wanted to know how it worked, you know. I really wanted to really understand how to modify balisongs. I bought these weird blue titanium screws off of eBay, because back then there wasn't like a whole bunch of different aftermarket parts for Replicant. So I bought these blue hardware because I thought it looked cool and it was pretty cheap, and I installed them into my rep. That was a bad idea because titanium, even though they're great metal for liners and such, they're actually really soft for hardware. Titanium is strong for how light it is, so that's why you see a lot of titanium frame knives, titanium liners, but for hardware they're not actually the best because they're soft. So long story short, I ended up stripping every single fucking screw in that knife. I couldn't get them out because I didn't have the technical know-how or the tools. And then I ended up selling it for parts. So, yep. That's how that sad story goes. But since then, I've worked on a whole bunch of different knives. I've modified a whole lot of different knives. I've learned how balisongs work, and I feel like this clone is my redemption replicant. I haven't flipped a replicant in years, and I was like really wanting to flip one again, so it's a good feeling. And for a while I was not strictly against clones, but I was very hesitant to advertise about having a clone because of the never-ending harassment you get from a lot of people, mostly people who have some sort of monetary stake in a company, which I understand. If you're sponsored or if you're a maker, you have a reason to be against clones, obviously. But a lot of YouTubers like Behold a Black Wolf, DJ Eyeless Pyro, and Dendent BMX, and Baliplus Flipping, kind of like opened my eyes a little bit to, you know, the clone controversy, and also the fact that clones have just been getting really good lately. Like, you got some, you know, really nice clones now. They used to be like real shit knives, but now you can like buy one that's like not tuned that great and then make it into a grail with all the aftermarket parts out there. So while, you know, like a lot of people will be saying like you're not putting support or money into the community or to knife makers. That is true when you buy a clone. However, with a knife like the Replicant, which is incredibly versatile and can be modded and modulated, I ended up spending pretty much the like almost the full amount of the rep that I paid, well, a little bit less than the $350 that I paid for a select rep back in the day, into modifying this into, dare say, like a knife that I, you know, my knife. Like, this is some of the best money I spent on Baliplus, really. So if you honestly, yeah, just if you have the money and the availability to buy a, you know, a legit knife, buy it. But I feel like if you're stuck on buying clones, my advice, especially if you feel guilty about it or something, is to learn from them, you know? If you have to have a clone, you know, don't just be a consumer. Like, learn how to actually, you know, modify it, flip with it, and support, you know, support small-time makers of aftermarket parts, you know? Like, some of that money is gonna go back into the community if you do that, you know? But yeah. Y'all stay sharp.